So guys, in this video we will make this girl, this head, exactly this head from scratch for just a little bit less than an hour. Everything of course in real time. I will explain a lot, I will not shut up even for a few seconds, and I will speak a lot of things, but mostly for making a stylized, highly stylized female or whatever heads in Zbrush, a little bit about the hair, and of course it's not perfect, but for the time we had, this is pretty decent. So let's get started. So guys, before we start modeling, I want to tell you the main thing. The main thing about modeling a character, stylized character, is to have a good concept. If you don't have a good concept, it will kind of be unusually bad. So this concept that I have here is from a guy named Max Kostenko. He's just amazing. I mean, this looks like a 3D, but it's not. He's just so good. And also, he has a side view and a front view, which are not exactly the same, but they help. And that's the other thing. You will rarely find a concept which is good and has a side view and a front view and whatever. It will be difficult, but if you start with this kind of concepts, you will get the whole idea of the stylized characters much more quickly, because it's not like you start and you just you are good in with the first character. No, you have to practice like everything. So I always like to start with a sphere. The sphere is the best for me. For my work also, I start with a sphere. And the sphere, why I start from a sphere always? I don't have a base mesh. Why? Because the process from getting from a sphere to a kind of not finished but overall forms finished is 1 hour, and this first 1 hour is the most pleasure I have when I sculpt. This is the most entertaining part of the sculpt, and I don't sculpt only for work or for money. I sculpt for pleasure. It brings me enormous pleasure to start from a sphere and do something with it, just to see how things are getting along, which is very nice. So what I will do is I will start from the sphere, and I will make again, like always, this kind of a shape of a helmet. The helmet shape I always do, and we'll do it the same for this character here. And you are seeing this character, but yeah, you know probably that it will not be exactly the same at the end. I always make the neck, and since our character, I'm masked and invert the mask, our character is kind of very stylized, so, and also she's a girl, so the neck is pretty thin. You see how the neck is very, very thin, even thinner than I made it. But let's leave it like this. So for now, what other thing I like to do with this kind of cartoonish character, because she's more cartoonish than she's stylized, of course, but highly stylized, almost cartoonish. So I will push this part here inward a little bit, so we will have this kind of a forehead, and then we'll have the place that it's starting to form the nose. And this lower part I'll push a bit further. So you see how this is starting to look kind of remind us of a baby head, and that's the idea. Those stylized girls, then most of the time they look like they have a baby features, very small, tiny nose, a little bit like upward, and also full lips and big eyes and big forehead. So those are the features of a baby, of course. And what else I do is I push the eyes, but not too much. Only in the inner part I push them a little bit too much, and then I smooth. I always do something and then smooth. Okay, we'll push around the nose a little bit more and then smooth here. So let me show you what we have to have at the end, or at least a little bit of a preview. So let's do, oops, this is something I did before. So we have to have this kind of a big forehead. So big forehead, we will make it even bigger, and then we'll have this kind of very loose transition, this arc, and then we'll have a nose in here. So the nose, the nostrils, and then the nostril in the back. So this is the whole of the nose. Yes. So one of the most common mistakes when making this kind of characters is to make the forehead very, very shallow like this. It's not good. So we have to make it like this, and then big forehead. The eye will be around here, and it will from the side view, it's most of the time is a triangular shape, and we'll see it like this, and we'll have some eyelids with eyelashes. So the upper eyelid is always, if you go like this, it's always in front, you see, it's more like in front of the lower eyelid. So this we have to consider. Also here we have this plane below the eye that's going down, and then it's going like this. But we will not make it sharp. I mean, I will show you how we will make it. Then we'll have this kind of the lip will start from here, the lower lip. The thing is that many people are starting from here, the lips, from the end of the nose, which is absolutely a no-no. You have to go from the kind of middle of the nose and here. And since this is, you see here, the distance between the nose and the lips is very, very little, very small. So I will do this. Then this will be our top lip. Then we'll have backward. Then we have the top lip like this. And then we'll have a more fuller and rounder bottom lip, which again, the top lip is here, the bottom lip is here, and then the chin will be around this area. So it will be something like this. You see how it goes? And then we can make this as the jaw here like this, and we will make the ear also. And the ear, how to find where the ear will be. The ear is very important, by the way. Many people are I see people that are starting sculpting and they don't do ears, they don't do necks. You have to do them even in the beginning, because they will give you a little bit of a proportion thing. So from here, if we go like this, kind of in the middle of this line will be the ear hole, and from the ear hole back is the ear itself. So it will be around this area here, the ear. So this will be kind of our character for now. It's looking fine. So let's continue doing it, because we have a little time. We have to be fast. So let's make the nose. Just with the move brush. I'm not using almost any other brush now except for the move brush. And with the move brush I'm moving. Sometimes I'm using the standard brush to push. And I will pull also the eyes, because the eyes, they are like spheres, and I like to kind of see where they are. I'll push more the inner part, of course, like I told you, and then we'll make this kind of a spherical forms here for the eyes. We can push a little bit those eyebrows backward, and from the top view we have to just make this kind of thing. I mean, from the top view it has to be almost like an egg shape. But this is for real characters, I mean for the realistic characters. For this, it's kind of loose. But also, they share, the stylized characters share a lot of features with the real ones, but more stylized. It's absolutely normal. I think you figure that out by itself. But yeah, let's make the upper lip. Let's make this kind of the mouth area and the bottom lip here. So this is very, very schematic now. But you see where we're going with this. So I'll push a little bit more this side of the mouth, and I smooth. And I'll smooth this, and we have something that's resembling a face now. Of course, let's find where the ears are. So the middle around this area will be the jaw, where the jaw ends. Here will be the whole of the ear, and the ear will be behind this. So I will make it like this. So a very little mask, then reverse it, and then just make a big ear out of it. And if it's too kind of a flat, I will inflate it with the inflate brush. And you may wonder how I'm working that fast. And you are right to wonder. But you see, I have those brushes here. And also, my brushes are from 1, I bind them to the keys from 1 to 7. Most used brushes that I have. Here we'll have a bit of a smooth area. It shouldn't be that harsh. So smooth, Then I will push this upward, and you see how this is starting to look fine. Of course the ears are pretty big, I'll make them smaller, and with that I can go and Dynamesh, because now we were working only with the sphere geometry and it's starting to, to not be enough. So Dynamesh this. I will Dynamesh it a little bit more, like 56 probably is nice. Okay. And let's continue with the down standard brush. It's very, very nice brush. And we can just make the nose where it is, smooth. Then just with the move brush, adjust it here. And from the side view, it should be, in this case, we should have a very, very low or very, very small bridge here. And then we'll have this kind of a little baby nose at the end, which will look fine. And also with a down standard brush, which is one of the greatest brushes, I will make the upper lip. Then I will push. I always push the corners of the mouth. And you see how from nothing, it's starting with the push, just to push the corners. And you'll see how it's starting to look nice. And then I continue this push, but not so much until we have this. And I will smooth here. And then I will make this lower lip a little bit more full. And what you see in the concept is, you have to know how to watch the concept, how to understand the concept. What you see in the concept is that the upper lip is much wider than the lower lip. The lower lip is very like smallish, like this. Not so wide. Which is absolutely fine. So let's make her smile a little bit more, like this. And then we'll see the sides here of the lips are a little bit fuller. So I will just make a little bit more of a fuller here. And yeah, this is starting to look pretty fine. Of course, we need a lot more work. So I will push and I will make an edge for the ear. So this ear has some edge in here, a hole in here, and it's starting to look pretty nice. So in order for the stylized character to look good, it has to have very clean forms. That's why I always say, and I cannot say this enough, I will push this a little bit more upward in the back here, and you see how this is going well. Of course, this can go a little bit further on front. This could be a little bit sharper. So I cannot stress this enough. Don't go to the higher subdivision before you fully made everything in the lower. So you see, I have a very low poly count here, but I'm making the forms, I'm making sure that I have those forms, and then I go up, because before, if I go up before I have the forms, it will be a disaster. It will be some kind of a, I wouldn't be able to make those forms nice and clean. It will be bad. So if your model is looking something like this, you just need to push this a little bit further. And also we can push those cheekbones, the cheeks. I mean, this is not the cheekbone, this is the cheek fat. But in a female, of course, the cheek fat is pretty important and it's pretty nice. So yeah. So let's make the eyes, just the basic eye form. So with the down standard brush, since it's thin, I'm making the upper part of the eye and the lower part of the eye. See? So the very important thing is to establish the corners of the eye. So let's start the corners from here. This is the corner of the eye. And then we go up, almost completely up from there. And then we go sideways. Then we go down from here and we go almost sideways from there. You see how this is down, side. And here is up, side. It's almost like kind of a rhomboid form or whatever, which is fine. But from the side view, we need this to be a triangle. So we have to look it from all sides. We cannot look it only from one side. It will be one-sided. It's not good. So let me see. Now the neck is pretty thick. So I will just, with the move brush, make it a little bit thinner. It will be nice. And then what I see is my chin is pretty huge too. So I will just push it upward and a little bit backward. You see how it goes? It's very nice. So I will smooth also this area here. I'm trying just to have all the right proportions, all the right things in this level of detail, which is no detail at all. I mean, if I go up in subdivisions now, before I made my forms, it will be much harder for me to make those forms again. Not much, but a little bit harder. So I like to spend a little bit more time in this stage. So the forehead here, I can make it even a bit more pronounced, like a baby. You see, a baby from a side view is going like this, and then it has a huge forehead in here, which is kind of the most forward part of his head mostly. Yeah, it's not mostly the most forward part, but yeah, it's pretty much forward. So if we want her to be more feminine, to be less baby, of course we will make the chin bigger, we will make those things a bit more backward, and we can make some things. But now we want her to look childish, like the concept, very jolly or whatever. So yeah, that's why we're making this. Now it's looking good. Let's go up one subdivision level and see what's happening. So up one subdivision, what I mean is from 56 I will go 150, for example, because I have those forms. And since I make this Dynamesh now by just dragging the mask outside the object, I have to smooth all those things. Oops. And I will tell you one more thing. It's a little trick. So now I have this kind of a light on, so it looks a little bit more like skin, which is okay. But the material, it's just a basic material. But when you go to the material properties here, so this is the material, the basic material. So we go to mixer, and here we go to this, and this outline strength is 0 by default. But for this kind of stylized characters, I make it like 0.4, 0.5. And it's making this kind of outline on some forms, which looks very nice. And also you can check out here ambient a little bit up. By default I think it's 12, and this you could go a little bit up, but you should watch for those kind of things that are completely white and not good. So this is fine. Let's go back. And now I like to fix the mouth to make it a bit better looking, so I will go here and I will dig it in. The mouth should be well defined. We'll have this, the upper lip, and you see, when I'm smoothing, I'm pressing shift, starting to smooth, and releasing shift almost immediately to smooth with the alternative smooth method. See, I'm not smoothing with shift pressed almost never. I press shift to start smoothing and then release it and continue smoothing. This way it's smooth way better, in my opinion. So make this kind of a muscle in here. So you see, the anatomy of the face of a cartoon character, or not exactly cartoon but stylized, highly stylized character like this, is almost the same. It has the same things as the normal realistic face, but exaggerated. For example, the nose, it's kind of similar. It has nostrils, it has holes, and the holes are not at the end like this, they are like in here. We have this kind of a bridge here, so those things are the same. Also we have this kind of thing in the middle of the mouth of the upper lip, which is looking good. Also the lower lip, we can make it fuller with a clay tubes brush. And from the side view, the lower lip should look pretty much like a circle, and the upper lip should look not so much like a circle. You see, it's, and yeah, we can make her even more smiling. It will be more it will look nicer in the thumbnail of the video in YouTube if she's more like joyful. And that's important, right? That's presentation. You have to think about that too. Presentation is important. So what I notice now is the front of the nose, this part, is pretty thin. So I will just, with the move brush from below, I will just make it thicker. And everything should be kind of a smooth. Everything should be going from one to another. Nothing should be like or sharp or whatever. You know what I mean. Or if you don't, I'm sorry. So you see here, I will make the eyes again, and I will make the eyes a few times, but it's normal. And they are like cat eyes. So this corner, the inner corner of the eyes, of course, is lower than the outer corner of the eyes, which is normal for a nice female eyes. They look well like a cat eyes. And you see, this is looking fine. But when I do this and I smooth the side of it, you see how it's kind of automatically makes it better. So always do this. I recommend it. It's not always, of course, but if your model is supporting this function, you should do it. So you see how the lips and this whole area is in front of the cheeks in here. It's in front of the cheeks, which is also the same in real life. And I will push the nose even a little bit backward. You have to see the model from all sides. So one of the main things in Zbrush is to rotate your model constantly, to look at it from all sides constantly. And that's how you will make a good model. And of course you should be able to see the things. And you should be able to see the things, and you will be able to see the things by practicing. That's the most important thing, maybe. Practicing. So what I did is I made this kind of a crease above the upper eyelid. It's very important. It's hugely important. So now we are on the 20-minute mark, and we are on nowhere. I mean, for 20 minutes, this is looking kind of good. But the distance between the eyes should be one eye most of the time. So yeah, in some cartoon characters, of course, it's lower, but it's smaller. But I will just do this. Just make the eyes a bit smaller, but the distance between them will be a bit bigger, which will make it look a little bit more realistic. And in our case here, the distance between the eyes is pretty big. So we have to be careful about this. Also, we have this eye orbits, the skeleton below. We always have this. Even in the cartoon character or whatever character, you have skeleton. You have skull below it. Or at least, if you kind of make it look like it has a skull below, it will make your drawing or sculpting much better. So I will smooth this area too. And I will make this back of the head here a little bit wider. So we will have... Okay, now she's looking pretty nice. And of course, I will not make the hair exactly as in the picture. I will make some hair, and you already know how it looks because I showed you in the beginning. But I don't know yet, because the beginning part of the video, the first 1 minute, I recorded after I do this. So I'm not sure how the head, how everything goes, but we'll see. So we have to be a little bit faster here. So I have to be a little bit faster, and I have to explain you some other things. Yeah, most people are asking me, what is this kind of rim light you have here? It's just another light from the light window here. It just, you turn it on and you just put it behind by just clicking, and it's easy. You just have to try it. You just have to test it. You lose nothing. I mean, you can always disable it, enable it. It's not a problem. So you can play with it and see how it works. Okay. So this will be the eyes. So let's make kind of a little bit more changes. Push this upward. So for bigger upper lip, it's always nice to have bigger upper lip. Let's make her a little bit more jolly, jolly. And she's looking fine. Let's make the eyes a little bit smaller. Let's see from this perspective. It's nice. Okay, from side view, they're nice. Also, one thing, I'm working with perspective, as you can see. Many people are asking me, are you working with perspective or without perspective? I'm going to draw, and by default it's 50. I make it 85. For the faces, realistic or whatever, I do 85 perspective in Zbrush. Because it's a little bit lower perspective, but it's not without perspective. But even without perspective, your model should look fine. So I will go one more subdivision up. I will not be able to make this model perfect because we don't have time. And the most time consuming thing in the stylized characters is to make everything smooth, every transition nice, everything just kind of goes and flows, which is difficult and the most time consuming, like I said. So we will not be able to do exactly that, but from far away, from a plane distance, it will look good, I guess. We'll see. So now the forms are there. I kind of like how it goes. Let's make the eyes, append. And the eyes are very nice, by the way, part of this. I will just fill this with this color, which is kind of neutral color, and I will append a sphere, which I will make small, put here, make smaller. Maybe this size of the eyes will be fine, let's see. No, smaller. Yeah, this size I think will be fine. So, compared to the regular size of the eyes, those are pretty big. And you can see that, but it's not a big deal. And now I will have to adjust my eye on the eyeball. So if you are a beginner, I suggest you make your eyeball a little bit earlier before you go to this kind of higher subdivision levels, because it will be easier to adjust the eye on the eyelid. So I will push these areas inward so you have better eyelids, and I think this is fine. And here I will go from the top view and just pull it, push this, push the inner part, and make sure that my upper eyelid it's a little bit above or in front of the lower one. That's important. And now it's not exactly, so I'll push this a little bit up, and then I will do this. Yeah, you just pull your eyelid a little bit upward, and then it should be good. Zbrush is saving, which is nice. Yeah, you notice here I have a lot of heads which I practice on. A lot of heads. For this course I have even a dog. Let's see the dog. Yeah, this was one guy who is making, I don't remember his name, he's always making this kind of stylized characters in his stream, and I just started with him. He's 2 hours is his stream most of the time, and he's making different stylized characters. It's fine, but he's pretty slow. I mean, he's speaking with the public because they are live, their streams, and he's doing those characters pretty slow. What I did, this dog, I did the dog with the eye, with the color and everything. I did it for 40 minutes, and he did his for 2 hours. But yeah, like I said, my kind of strength is this kind of fast things. My strength is not in details. I don't like details. So yeah, let's see. So this is the eye. Let's mirror it to the other side and press X so we have symmetry. And now we have those eyes. Of course, in the corner here it doesn't look very nice, so I will pull it, push it, and those kind of eyelids, they're looking pretty bad because you see they're not exactly the same width all around the eyeball, and they should be. So we have to spend a little bit time on this, but I'm worrying now we spent half of our time already, which will give us less time for the hair, and the hair is pretty important too. So yeah, whatever, it's okay. Now let's go to the eyes, and I will do this. I will fill them with white, fill. Then I will go 2 subdivisions. I made 2 subdivisions, and then I will just make this big kind of a mask. Then with this mask I will invert it go down one subdivision and inflate. When I'm done with the inflate, I will smooth a lot. So I will shift smooth, I will shift smooth, smooth, and smooth. A lot of smoothing. So now I will fill this with black, complete black fill. And then I will go to some kind of this kind of color. Go to the alpha. I have an alpha brush which is completely the same as a standard brush, only the RGB is on and the Z add is off. And I will start making this kind of thing. I make sure that at the end here I leave this kind of a black area. On the top I will be a little bit less, I'll draw a little bit less on the top, more on the bottom. And then I will go with a even brighter brush and just do on the bottom like this. You will say, this doesn't look super nice. You wait. So I will go to the black color again and just fill the middle part with black, big black. And then I will just remove the mask, go to the toy plastic material and just M, fill object. So I've filled it with this material. And now I'll go to the basic material and we have those eyes. They don't look bad, they are fine. So this is super fast way, like 3 minutes or something, to make eyes. Super fast cartoon eyes, you know, in ZBrush. Yeah, I should make a different video about it, so, but we'll see. Because some people would want just this. So I will play a little bit with this and now I will start to poly paint it. Very, very nice. So I will just inflate this area. And yeah, it's looking fine. Let's poly paint it and see what happens. Probably it will look fine. So I will go with a kind of a red color like this. RGB intensity low. And I will just fill this. The nose should be red, of course. The ears also red. And the lips, of course, they should be a lot of red. And there will be red on the cheeks too, on the chin and on the neck. You know, basically we want this this girl to look not dead, to look alive. So that's why I'm putting so much red all over. But yeah, on the lips I will select this color, which is even less saturated, and I will fill, and I will select the normal color and I will just do this. Okay, now you see it's starting to look pretty nice. Maybe I will go also and inflate the upper lip a bit and smooth it. I always kind of do something and then smooth, do something and smooth. Of course, I don't know, we wouldn't have time, but the upper eyelid should be black, or we should have upper eyelids, eyelashes, those eyelashes, yeah, the eyelashes are the thing, see? So we don't have eyelashes yet, but let's make some this, eyebrows. Everything is eye something here. Eyebrows, eyelashes, eyelids, and I'm just making, I'm wondering which is which. So now I will just make a mask that resembles the eyelids, the eyelashes, those things, eyebrows, and extract, accept, and then do the same as I do with the clothes and everything. I will show you, but sometimes I probably will make a video about it. Deflate it, so deflate will just make it closer to the skin. And then with the move brush, up close, small move brush, I will just make the form of this eyebrows. Probably you would say, how can you forget the word eyebrow? And it's you know, I'm in front of the camera firstly, and I know that many people will watch this, and I'm like, probably, I don't know. Yeah, there are a lot of factors here in play. So let's try to make this kind of a color like this color, why not? Fill the object, then I will make thickness of this. Extrude all polygons, okay, go, flip it, and then just D for dynamic subdivisions. And it should be completely nice. So, nice eyebrows. Yeah, you will probably ask, but why are they not black? I probably wouldn't make her hair black, we'll see. I'm going for reddish or maybe even orange or blue. And this time, this I will make it blue. So I wouldn't have time for the ears to make them super nice and cool. But I think there is a lot of useful information for this video, so you will forgive me for that. That I don't make the ears. So yeah, let's say it again. So, good concept makes good 3D. Bad concept makes if you are very good professional, super good in this. I'm not that good. For example, for me, with a bad concept, I will make a mediocre kind of 3D model. From a good concept, I can make a very good 3D. From a very good concept, I can make again very good 3D. I mean, yeah. But if you are not that good, if you're not that experienced, from a mediocre concept you will make a bad 3D, probably. So you have to be careful about this. Yeah, let's just make this kind of a thing here. Make sure that the upper lip, you can kind of make this sharp here. Yes, but for the lower lip, don't make it here sharp. Make it only in this area, only in the bottom part sharp. And make sure this is kind of inward in the bottom, and then it just fades out and it's not that inward anymore. Okay, this is pretty important, by the way, and it's also true for realistic models. So we're not only doing this for here. I mean, yeah, many things that are true for realistic models are true for this too. So let's take this eyebrows, duplicate them and try to make eyelashes. I'm not sure if it will work, but if it works, it will be amazing because we will need those. Okay, let's try to make them. Alright, why is the pivot here? I'm not sure, but I'll move it to the object. Then with a big move brush, I will just make this. Then make this. You see, with the big move brush, everything works amazingly. So yeah, I haven't practiced exactly this, because in my practice videos I just make a black poly paint in the place of the eyelashes, but now I will try to make them with geometry, which could be a little bit difficult and disastrous, but we'll see, because it will take time, and the time is of essence here. We will not be able to make the hair, I'm almost sure of it, but we'll see, we'll see. Even if we have to go 1 hour and 10 minutes, it's not a problem, because the most important thing is that the end result will be kind of nice. I mean, it wouldn't be the best thing ever or something that is super amazing, but yeah, now I think the eyelashes are looking kind of nice. Not the best eyelashes ever though, but they will probably do. So I will make them black. And they're looking fine. Of course, you see how we don't have geometry here, and this is not good. But I told you, we will not be able to make this exactly best for the time we have. So now we have this, which is pretty fine. I will append a sphere. I will move it a little bit upward. And this will be our hair, by the way. Yeah. And I will make it this color. And this is our hair, and the model is finished. Yeah, for 39 minutes it's fine. No, it's not finished. We have to make the hair. So for the hair I don't use symmetry. I just do this, then I will make this kind of a hairline in here, define it, then I will start defining some hairs, and I chose my hair to be not as here, a little bit more different. Yeah, just a little bit like this. Inflate, I'm using inflate, I'm using smooth. Then I will make this kind of a thing in here. And the down standard brush, by the way, as I'm using it, is very good for hair. So I'm pushing with down standard and I'm pulling. I'm pushing and I'm pulling. And I look for those hairs to not be parallel to each other. Parallel for the organic modeling, especially hair, is very bad. You should be very careful with the parallel things. They shouldn't exist, if I may say. So this will be kind of going in. I will inflate it. And here it will be much smaller, because this is kind of a ponytail. Not ponytail, but just a tail. And it's held here by elastic band. And here it's above the ear, but in the other side it may cover the ear even a little bit. I don't mind. It's starting to look a little bit like this girl from Frozen, but not quite. I mean, it's kind of similar. So let's go to the Dynamesh at the big resolution, nice resolution. And this is looking pretty good. So with the down standard brush, again, I will define this, and I will start defining those things here, here. And you see how the down standard brush is pretty nice for the hair. Of course, you will not be able probably in the beginning to make this. It requires practice. So I've done a lot of hairs in this kind of a style, and you should do too. If you want to do this kind of hair, you have to practice. Practice is the key in almost everything. Yeah, and I'm just kind of doing the overall shape of the hair too. Maybe we'll have this thing here. And we'll have this kind of shapes. This is not looking perfect. But what is looking perfect? I mean, nothing is looking perfect. It's okay. But now we will kind of do something that will make the hair I mean, a bit better, and not a bit, a lot better. And I will show you just in a second. Give me just a little bit time here to work with this. Maybe even those things should be going like this, which is fine. I mean, if you can make the silhouette more interesting, make it like I did too. This was a happy coincidence, but it's just a nice looking thing, and I just leave it. So I go to my curve tool brush, and I'll do this. I just accept it with a click on the model, and I just smooth here to make it thinner. I will just put it inward, again like this, and I will make this kind of thing, this kind of a piece of hair, like in the concept almost. Yeah, we are kind of sticking to the concept at some areas, not exactly at everything, as you can see. But this is good, so I will just Dynamesh it so it goes inside. And we will do this kind of thing. Yeah, I'll make it sharper so it looks more like a hair. Because if the hair is not sharp, those things are not sharp, it will not look like hair. It will look like some kind of a weird hat or something. So we have to be careful about the sharpness of your hair too. Sharper, and inside We can make a little bit of a sharper thing again. And here I see this kind of a very interesting piece of hair. Let's make it. Why not? Just a little piece here. It will be nice. With the move brush. And then with the smooth brush. I don't know if it will look fine, but it will give us a bit more variety in the front hair department, which is fine. So as you can see, for like 40 minutes, real time, it's possible for something from zero to look kind of nice. It's still has a lot of things to improve, but it looks fine just for 45 minutes. And even some of those minutes I went like talking, I was talking about something, some other things. So this is the hairline. From here the hairs go like this, and this direction and this direction. So yeah, let's kind of make it. Don't make too much, especially in this kind of a stylized character, don't make too much hairs. Just a few kind of a well-placed strands here and there will do the job completely nice. I don't completely nice, I don't completely like this in the back, but I will just be okay with it because, you know, if you want to do something nicely, you need time. So I'll make a mask here, I will extract accept, and then I will smooth, I will polish it a bit. So this will be my hair holding thing. It will hold the hair. It's like a elastic band or something, yes. And yeah, I will have to disable the mask. And it should be kind of different color, of course. And I will make it probably red or something. Maybe red will be nice. A bit of a things in here. You know, you should kind of take care of everything, every piece of your sculpt. So, for example, if I leave this unfinished here, it will be bad for my sculpt, because your sculpt is as good as the weakest link, as they say. You have to make everything polished and nice. And in this case, as we know, it's not possible. I mean, for this time, for this kind of time, this is kind of the best we can do. But yeah, if we had time, we'll polish this, we'll make it not so bumpy. You know, this is bumpy and not very fine looking. But from a far away, as I told you, from a plane, it will not look super bad. So let's find a color which will fit. Let's try this one. It's fine. I mean, it's looking relatively nice. I'm not completely convinced, so I will dynamesh it. But I will have to dynamesh it more. Oh yes. Okay, I did it. I dynameshed it a lot. So not so much. So I can smooth it. And the thing is, I should smooth it a lot. So it will look fine. Or better, at least. And then I would make it a little bit more circular and stuff like this. And from here, all the strands should kind of emerge. They should emerge from this area inside. So I'm going solo. Sometimes you have to do this. Solo mode. And just start from there. And you see how this is kind of going well. And I told you, it requires practice. You will not be able to do this in the beginning like this. For example, for me, it took me like few heads to exercise to make this particular concept. And it's not the same as you see. It has some differences, but I like it. I mean, I like it. And also I will show you something which is in the new Zbrush, and it's very nice. We have a poly paint here, you see, of the face. But we want to make it a little bit more bright and shiny. We go to poly paint and adjust color. And now we can go to the saturation and change it so it's a little bit more saturated with RGB intensity. No, we don't need this. RGB contrast, by the way, we can make the lips more fuller and everything just a little bit more contrasty, which is fine. The gamma, I would like it to be maybe a little bit darker, not so much, not super. I mean, red gamma, yes, a little bit more. And yeah, let's try it. And now she looks a little bit more alive, more fuller lips and everything. So let's go to the hair and make it a bigger resolution first. Let's smooth it and define those kind of things that we should define. I'm not working from the back that much because it will take me time. But if I'm working for a model that will be in the game or something, I will be working from the back and everything. And this takes additional time. I mean, yeah, it will double the time for the model, for example, if you have a completely defined back and everything. But now, since we will look at this girl only from the front, we don't need that. We completely don't. Here it doesn't look super nice. So even my kind of experience with hair, it's significant. I mean, it's not super significant. I just made my share of hairs, this kind of cartoonish hairs, I mean. But even I am not perfect yet. So I need more practice even. That will have to show you that most of you that are watching these channels are not super professionals yet. I hope you one day became professionals, but to become super professional in some area, you should practice it a lot. You should just work. Nobody has been born perfect or something. The only difference between people that are very good at something is they've been born with something. Yes, they've been born with the will and the will, yeah, the will to practice, to do it until it's done. I have one guy, my friend of mine, he's very good at these stylized things. He's just amazing. I mean, just a god. One of the best, maybe in the world even. He's Bulgarian too. And I'm asking him about those things. So when I was practicing, I'm asking, how is this? For example, for this model, he would say, yeah, it's a little bit like smashed in places, it's not good enough, but I will say, yeah, but it's for 1 hour. And he will say, wow, for 1 hour, I cannot do anything even remotely this good for 1 hour. And yeah, because he's working and he's taking his time and he can put in this kind of a model like maybe 10 hours only for the head, you know, and it will be amazing at the end. He's willing to put this kind of time. I'm not exactly like this. I like my things to be fast, pretty fast. So that's why my channel is full with this, and that's why it's called speed care, not complete take your time as long as possible or as much as possible care. It's speed care because I like to speed up things. I like everything to happen quickly. And yeah, as I told you, the first 1 hour of working on a character is for me just the best. I just love it. And that's why I never start with the mesh, with the base mesh. I will just do a little bit of a kind of blackening in the bottom eye and the side of the bottom eye. Why? This will give us kind of an illusion of a bottom eyelid, which is more thick at the side view. At the side, not the side view, at the side. I think this is enough for now. Although we have more time, amazingly, and we'll have to do a little bit more. But I can tell we can spend a lot of time in this now. Now we have overall forms and everything in place, so we can spend like 4 hours just perfecting every strand here, just with a high polish brush going and making it look very nice and tidy. Just tidy up everything. Or we can go and polish. Go with the resolution of some big resolution and just polish it. And then, yeah, polish is good. But you have to have good forms before you polish. Otherwise, yeah, it will make some nice forms. Yeah, it will sharpen them, yes. But it's not something that it's you do it and it's completely perfect. No. There is nothing like completely perfect. Let me try something, by the way. Deformation. And we have contrast. Let's increase the contrast here. Can we do it? Yes. So I increased the contrast and now I can smooth. And this contrast, by the way, is a function of the latest ZBrush. It was not in the previous ZBrushes. So it's only in 2021.5. It was not in any ZBrush before that. So this contrast is kind of increasing the contrast in our model. It's pretty nice at some points, and I will smooth it afterwards, and it's looking pretty good. I can even do it again, this contrast, and then just fix some areas, and it will look better. I kind of like this contrast thing. I will use it probably in some models. I'm making now a model for a guy, which is the Rhino villain from Spider-Man. It's for a figure, for print. And it's going very well, but I have to detail it now, and I'm not very fond of detailing. As I told you, I'm a guy who wants to make forms. I like the forms. I like to make them. And when I make the forms and I'm happy with the forms, I just kind of lose interest in the model. That, you know, when the forms are there. But many people I kind of realized that are detail people. I mean, they like to spend time and put detail, which is fine, which is completely fine. But you have to learn. Like I had to learn to make details. I had to. And you have to learn to just make the base forms. It's very important. I mean, the base form is the most important. The details, not so much. The base form is more important than the details, I would say. So this will be it. This will be it for our model now. Thank you for watching, and the next time, the next video, probably I will kind of show you a sneak peek of how to start retopologizing manually with the new tools in ZBrush. I have a ZModeler brush here, ZModeler Retopo, but we will make our own brush, which we will call ZRetopo, for example, and we will just start retopologizing this character. And for a few minutes, I mean, this will be kind of shorter video, not for 1 hour. For a few minutes I will just show you how to start with retopologizing your models in ZBrush. I am now, in my work, I'm using only ZBrush for Retopo. This is just ZBrush. I was using Max before, and I made even a course about it, and it's cool if you have Max, but if you have only ZBrush, it's completely enough. I will show you why, and yeah, that's it. I like it. Bye. See you in the next one.